In this video, I'm going to show you 4 ways to get shoulder pain relief. Now, each one of these exercises kind of attacks the shoulder in a slightly different way, so you might find that one of these is more beneficial than another, okay? So go through all of them. One might be good, or 2, if your shoulders are really messed up, they all might be helpful, but they might be helpful for what? Okay, so basically I'm talking about sitting all day. If you are sitting at your desk, you might have pain in this upper trap, kind of upper here. You might rub and grab your neck like this, or it might be more in the transition of your neck. These exercises will kind of help this. The other thing, it might be at the bottom of the scapula down here, or it could be somewhere in the middle of the shoulder blades there. So this is more of a postural. You're sitting all day. I know a lot of us are working a lot of hours these days. So if you're sitting, these exercises will kind of help. Welcome to the Anatomy of Therapy. I'm Dr. John Cybulski. If you haven't already, hit the like button. Thank you for helping people find this video. Let's go over these 4 exercises. If you have a comment, leave it below. We're going to go over all these, and I'm going to show you the various ways that they are helping to open up your shoulder. Let's start with the easiest one. This is Dr. Stacy. She's a good friend, Arizona girl, I believe. But this is a shoulder extension exercise. So the first place you're going to feel this is in the front of the elbows, right? This exercise is quite simple. You sit in kind of the crab position, and then you lift yourself up and you're going to move your butt away. Then you're simply going to do what this says. You're going to hold it for 1 minute in shoulder extension. So you really often, people will feel this in the front of their elbows, most likely. And then some people start to feel it in the biceps, but then ultimately it's going to be in the front of the shoulders. This is really going to help when our shoulders are rounded forward all day and we need to kind of open them up, right? So one of the things is, instead of opening your shoulders up yourself, what you need to do instead is have your arms pulling back so that you kind of push your shoulders forward, okay? So in this exercise, you let your arms go back for 1 minute. Try to get your butt to go further and further forward. That'll be the most helpful way to kind of get this going. But you really want to feel a pull on the forearm, on the bicep. Sometimes your elbows might feel a little bit wonky and sore after this one. It's fine. You need to go through some soreness to kind of get some changes here, right? So hang out here for 1 minute. This is an awesome way to start to open your exercises. And again, we just want time under tension in this shoulder extended position. Try to keep your chest up. Let your head kind of relax if you can. Move your butt forward as best you can. Hold it for 1 minute. Let's go to the second one. The second one is also going to be using your arms to go back to push your chest forward. This is knees over the toes guy, everybody's favorite, Ben Patrick. He's taking a weight. We're putting our back here, and we're basically doing a lat pullover, right? Except the one big difference is he's letting it go as back as far as possible, and he's letting his hips kind of stay down here. So we get this opposite curling, this thoracic extension, versus what you see again with me over here slumping forwards, right? He is opening up kind of quite the opposite. He's not going forward like me. He's going back the correct way, right? And then we're, of course, using this weight to kind of pull and open up. What are we going to address here? We're going to hit these pecs really good. We're going to definitely hit these triceps, which means we're also going to get some posterior shoulder and some lat stretches. Hopefully get a pec stretch and a pec minor stretch. If you can really keep your torso forward, try to keep your hips down. If you can feel it stretch in the upper abs with this one, then you know you've really hit the money, because at the upper abs, that's kind of where we sit backwards, and there's a big hinge point there for those of us who are desk bound. This is a great way to open up being stuck at a desk all day. Okay, the next way. So we've got shoulder extension here, shoulder extension. Then we're going shoulder flexion up overhead. Both of these are trying to address your arms tension on your torso, right? Now we did it in a 2-dimensional way, but we are built 3-dimensionally. We are not cartoons, so you need to rotate. The first thing we want to do is see if we can rotate our upper body all the way back, but keeping our knee down. So if you could go back, but your knee goes up with it, then what's kind of the point? Are you actually thoracic? Are you actually rotating back? Is this shoulder actually going back? Because as you twist, that's bringing the shoulder back, and that's opening the chest up. Again, kind of very similar to this one and this one, except we're just going around the side, as it were, right? So she's just going forward and back. This is called the open the book or thoracic rotation. You want to let your arm go back and keep the knee down. It's pretty simple. You want to go forward and back 10 times. The yoga block here is basically meant to keep, like I said, keep that knee down so that the arm can go back. A lot of people have done thoracic extension. You need to do thoracic extension and rotation, or I should say, I'm sorry, you should not just do thoracic extension. You need to get thoracic extension on one side at a time. So when you do thoracic extension one side at a time, so here we can see, let's just say she's kind of neutral in this position, right? As she goes back, now this side is thoracic extended and this side is actually flexed forward, right? So you get this kind of shearing and twisting motion that happens here. If this knee can stay down and that arm can go out, then she gets proper thoracic rotation or flexion on this side, extension on this side, and these hips are basically staying locked down, right? So try to relax the head here as well, but this is a great way to open up this mid back, right? Awesome, awesome exercise. 10 times on each side. Each time you should feel that you can go a little bit further, a little bit easier. Try to keep the knee down. As we said, last and final one, running out of steam already. So we need to do thoracic extension or thoracic rotation again, but this time we're adding the capacity of weight and we're adding the capacity of repetition and movement. He's also doing a little bit forcefully, so you can see he's kind of going through. So this is a wood choppers exercise, some people call it. Some people call it playing baseball, but basically you're twisting back and forth. The feet are in a symmetrical stance and you're just going back and forth under tension. This can also be, instead of a cable that he's using, you can still use a band if you want to. You're going to have to get some more reps. If you have a band, probably want to go 15 to 20 reps. If you have more weight here, and he's not really doing that much weight, he's focusing on getting a lot of repetition. You're going to want to try to keep those arms and elbows locked. And then the next thing that he's not doing a great job of is he's letting his shoulders come up, and that's actually okay. It's not a great deal, but you're gonna want to get, as you do that, you're getting pull through the back here. So those muscles, we've got them going back through extension. We're opening up through flexion. We're thoracic rotating them, and then we're adding some tension, some speed, some weight, and some repetition. So we're hitting this from every single little angle. Something in here should provide you with some relief. If you don't get relief, you probably have something more serious going on with you. And when I say more serious, give these some time, right? Work on these for a week, work on these for 2 weeks. If you notice a little benefit after doing one exercise, you need to repeat that. Your body wants to go back to where it was before. You need to do these repetitiously. When you are sitting in bad posture all day, you are sitting there repetitiously. If you are sitting for 6 hours a day, you are considered sedentary. It's a crazy statistic, but it's true. If you're sitting there for 6 hours, you're sedentary. So you need to do a lot of reps. Just 10 reps or even just 1 minute doing this is really only going to move the needle to get you out of that bad posture just a little bit. You need to do these over and over. That is why we start to add the weight, because if you're just doing exercises that are not weighted, kind of like this, right? Then you just have the tension of your body holding you up, or the tension that you can create with the space you can create, but you're not going to get as much leverage on stretching out your body if you have weights like this guy and like this, right? So the more load you can put into your body, it's more like a higher dose of medicine, if you will, for the long term. Just put it in strategically, I would say, and really think about the repetitions that you're doing, because as you're sitting, you may not seem like you're doing much repetitiously, but you are. So we need to do something to counter that. So the static stuff is important, and you should definitely start there. This is one of the static things. This is one of the static things. But don't be afraid to add some weights to really lock in the benefits. Basically, I see patients that do exercises like this or like this and can do them well, but then they get to a certain level, but they can't go any further. So they get a little bit better, but they feel like they have to do it over and over. You need to find a way to progress these kind of passive exercises to something either more repetitiously, you need to add more time, more than 1 minute, or way more than 10 reps. There's an episode we did a couple episodes ago on shoulders and thoracic rotation where we did kettlebells. There's a great kettlebell thoracic rotation exercise in there that you can do to add some load, like Ben Patrick over here, or this hunk, right? Anyways, I've said too much. Please hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't. We have a podcast on iTunes. Check it out. We got a Patreon coming. There should be a link below to all the good stuff. Thank y'all and have a great day.